Thank you, everybody. We have a long night tonight, so if you would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much, everybody. So do you have any additions or anything for the agenda, John?
No.
Okay. And do I hear a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so moved. So on the consent agenda items, there is the approval of the February 8th, February 9th, and March 1st meeting minutes.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve February 8th and 9th and the special of 2024 and the special minutes for March the 1st, 2024.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so moved. Action items, that's a long list.
Yeah, it is.
Are you going to read that for us?
Yeah. Okay.
You know what, I just happened to think.
What?
Do we need to add that deferred payment list on that?
So right now, I think it probably lists everything, and so if you would like us to take out that list of deferred, then I would approve it that way, possibly, if that's what you, it's up to you.
Well, I think the best order, and I apologize for the out of order part, because I didn't get this list in time to really observe it. Before we approve everything, if we approve it, then I think you should send them out.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, they definitely needs to have
so we do need to
change
take a
on
look
that.
at that deferred list. So forgive me for that error. So we have a list because budget is tight, which I want to, again, I'll reiterate thanks to Jeff and Randy Netherland and Debbie for helping us get through some of this budget things that we've had to go through.
Very helpful.
We're pretty tight, so there's a few things that we were thinking about just delaying.
Yeah, that would be the appropriate term, delaying for sure.
So this might be a little cumbersome when we okay all these vouchers.
So we can just strike out the ones on the list that you want to defer, and then we'll approve that list.
Okay, so one was the Association of Washington Business.
Okay.
I think we're good with not having that one.
And that one doesn't have to be paid at all.
Yeah.
That
So
one,
just
that's not a deferred,
Complete,
that's a
yeah,
completely
that's the
removed.
$575. WIDA, I was really kind of, sometimes they've really helped us. That's Washington Economic Development Council. We've utilized them quite a bit in the past. I wouldn't mind deferring that one, but pay it sometime if that's possible. John, any comments on that?
Not at all.
Endurus, have you talked to them?
Not since last time. I needed to find out what our approach was.
Okay.
And I will talk to them tomorrow. Everybody that we will be deferring will be getting a phone call tomorrow, and we'll be making our appropriate arrangements.
Well, Endurus and Springbrook, which is our bookkeeping,
Yeah.
that's pretty critical.
Yeah.
But Endurus, if we could do a payment plan.
I
So
will discuss
is
it with them. We're officially deferred to the 15th of March. And we will have the option to go further. It was just all that the representative on her own could appropriate at the time I asked.
So would we be safe to defer that one?
Yes, I believe we'd be safe to defer it, and they can we can come up with some sort of plan as of, that'd be April 1st.
Okay, so that one is $11,266. Let's defer.
As of right now, what's the date?
It was actually
Drop
only,
dead
it was only due
I don't mean so much due.
6 days ago.
Okay.
So it's not a huge ask, I think.
What is the drop dead date for, if you will? For
They haven't given us a drop
coverage.
dead.
No, I'm talking
Yeah.
about for coverage. I mean,
For
as of
coverage.
right now, where we're at.
So we are technically covered all the way until August.
With what we
with what we
paid,
paid,
I mean,
yeah.
that's what I'm
And
asking.
and that payment,
Well, then they'll work with us.
yeah, absolutely.
Springbrook, do you know much about that, Aaron? Can we defer
I
part of
think
it?
so. We paid it last year in April, so I
Okay.
think we'd probably be okay to
We
make
haven't
that
been able to
payment in
find, we
April.
didn't go back this far to find out if we were billed the same manner we were this year, and when we paid in April. But it was, technically, it was billed last year in November, so it's
Okay.
been a while. It was actually due the 1st of February.
So are we safe to defer it?
I think so. I could call also tomorrow, Travis. If
Yeah,
you'd like.
we'll work together with them.
Okay.
They probably like her voice better than yours.
Oh, boy.
Okay, well, I'm good with that. IRS, we're not gonna defer that one.
Okay.
No. No.
They're no fun. Wave is pretty small.
Yeah, and it's actually being, we canceled it. It's just the 30-day cycle per contract hasn't come up yet. So this is the last time you're paying it anyway. So
Okay.
it can be deferred and paid next month.
Okay, so the one we're going to delete is the Association of
Washington
Washington Business.
Businesses.
We will defer the Washington Economic Development Council.
Yeah.
Defer Endurus, or at least get a payment plan, and defer Springbrook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that, and that's pretty sufficient, correct? Will that get us through, or is there anything else?
Well, by not deferring the IRS, we have to make other decisions.
Well, it's fine. We have another resource to do that. We spoke about that. So,
Well, when is that due? Is that for
So
the
they gave
first
us,
quarter?
so that is the payment that was not recorded with them in first quarter 2023.
Well, kinda. It goes
Yeah.
back to 2017, July
But,
of
yeah,
2017.
but yeah,
Are we
Leanne
doing
was
penalties
due.
on it?
Yes.
yes, there are penalties on
Have we tried to get any plan?
it. Well, that's why
Good
we
luck,
we have to ask you for approval to go after a plan.
Okay.
That's what we're here today. So we can ask the IRS for
No.
a payment plan, but the problem is
No.
that is a lot of hoops to jump through.
no,
Yeah.
I would be
I would
totally
suggest
opposed
doing
to
the
that.
IRS, I mean,
Well,
because,
We have a small LLC that we can draw on and to take care of that. A lot of crap. Kids that.
oh,
We're-
we do
Aaron
still?
Aaron and I are unfamiliar with the line of credit that we have.
I
We
don't know if
have,
it's
we have
revolving.
municipal bonds that are
Yeah.
labeled line of credit, but
Just
we
not
don't
sure
have
it's
the ability to draw
revolving.
from them.
But you have talked to them more recently than we have, so you might be privy to something that we are not.
Yeah, because I'm.
No, I'm not, other than that, I mean, I got a hard, they're all attached to bonds?
Yes.
Which we did
That's really interesting.
pay back.
Okay.
Suggestions?
Well, Intelligence Systems was done last month, deferred last month. They haven't sent us any late notices.
Yeah, we could do that.
That was for the annual fire inspection. It can be deferred again.
And then possibly Ventec?
Ventec would be a big section of it. We did defer them last time. It was 3,192. They seemed amicable to working with us. That would get us over halfway there.
Well, if we can defer part of Ventec, I think that would be good.
They seem to understand our situation when I talk to them, so.
And I think Northwest Accounting Group, we may be able to, because they just invoiced us recently. I think by deferring the IntelliSystems and the Ventec, that probably gets us pretty close to zero.
Yes, because
Okay,
there was
where's my-
an excess in there.
There it is, sorry. So Ventec, are you saying defer the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay, that's 3,000. And what was the other one? I'm sorry, I was still,
IntelliSystems.
IntelliSystems.
where is that one?
That one's halfway up.
Yours is on the second page? Mine's on the first page, I don't know what she's looking at.
Looking.
Did you not get the amended today copy? John,
Um,
does that have 2
well, this
pages?
is what I got right here.
Okay, let me see.
We had to add the PO box today.
Yeah, the PO box came in today, we had to make sure, yeah, it has both pages.
Okay.
There's a small amount on the second
All right,
page.
that's okay. How much is that?
How much is the Intellis?
510.
My stars, I can't find it here.
IntelliSystems.
Can you see it? Ta-da! Thank you.
Yep.
Okay,
Anyway, hopefully I'm not missing anything else.
okay. That should bring us down then, right? Will that get us through?
I think that'll get us very close to 0, and we'll have some income coming in from property taxes over the week, and so I think that will probably get us very, very close, if not there.
Beginning in April? Over the
Beginning
week?
of March. We should have some property
Oh,
taxes
we're starting
already.
getting it in now? Okay, all right.
Where we didn't do Northwest Accounting Group as well?
Yeah, if that's agreeable, just to maybe give us a
It's
little cushion.
it's close to 500.
Yeah.
Where's that one? I don't see that one either.
It should be
Oh,
right there.
Oh. Alphabetical order, right?
Yeah, which, can you show me which one you're,
Yeah, these are the highlighted ones.
I have a different list than you do.
Let me look. Nope, you don't. Here's this one.
Yeah. Fair
And
enough,
then
okay.
Ventec is
And
down
right
there.
here.
Ventec's at the very bottom,
Yes,
okay?
all right.
Thanks for your patience, everybody.
And then
Oops.
I can call out all of them that we're deferring or removing on the master list I have here, so that both Aaron and I have an agreement there for what you guys have approved to be removed.
Okay.
That we don't miss anything. So Association of Washington Businesses is being scratched and will not be renewed, period.
Correct. Yes,
All right, Endurus will be deferred.
correct.
IntelliSystems will be deferred.
Yes.
So, okay, so let me get this straight.
Sure.
Association of Washington, we're done.
Yep, we're done.
EDC, Endurance, and Springbooks deferred.
It's just working on it, it's not going down the order, so yeah, that's not the EDC, it's WEDA, Washington Economic Development Association deferred.
Okay.
Then we've got, going down the list, top to bottom, we're Northwest Accounting Group deferred, Springbrook deferred, Ventec deferred,
And Ventec, okay.
and then WEDA deferred,
Yes.
and WAVE deferred.
We can do that, yes.
Okay.
That should get us in order, right?
Yep.
That,
I believe we'll be able to, by the end of the month, come in with those included, with money's coming in April too, that we'll be
Yeah.
back on track.
And I think Aaron was saying that compared to last year, we saw more revenue this month than we did
Yes.
last month.
yes, and property
So-
taxes. I think it's
I know I get to pay him a lot.
Yeah.
my quick calculation. That brings our list down to $16,370 and a penny. So that, like I said, quick. I haven't confirmed that number, but I think that puts us very
Minus
close.
16,000.
Actually, no, minus 25,223. So our
Really?
total would be down to 16. So I think
For the
that's very
general
helpful.
fund, correct?
From the general fund.
41,000. Yeah, okay.
And then we should also note that also is drawing from the investments in the capital fund.
Okay.
Well, I'd also like to note that when we move forward on this, that with the monies that come in here in March, that we go ahead and also make room to pay that IRS.
Yeah, well, the IRS is getting paid on this. on this-
Because we're
this-
taking
yeah.
care of these other things and moving those out of the picture.
Yeah, no.
Because
yeah.
we're doing deferments and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's why we're gonna be able to do that then.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, the deferments are allowing us to take care of IRS debt
Okay.
and it'd be gone completely.
okay.
Yep,
That's,
absolutely.
can't even believe we're in, Okay.
Okay, just to reiterate, we're going to defer the $400 Washington Economic Development Council, and correct me if I'm wrong on any of these. Endurus, $11,266. Deferring Springbrook, $8,603.61. Wave, $216.92. Ventec, $3,192. Intellis Systems, $510. Northwest, what was that?
Accounting group.
County Group, $460. Does that sound correct?
And scratching the Association of Washington Business.
Yes.
I confer.
What does that total come to? Did you do the math on that?
$16,370.01.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. I'm sorry it was kind
No.
of chaotic there.
No, thank you.
It's okay.
Another couple months.
So since
And
we've,
We will update that voucher list and provide it on the website.
okay. Well, now that we've kind of changed the numbers on the action items,
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure how we can all read that, except that we will
well,
just go ahead and agree to pay.
well, I can help you with that, I think.
Sure.
Okay, so basically, we can approve the payment of the general voucher for $16,370.01, subtracting the difference from the original $41,144.13.
Great, okay.
That eliminates the Washington EDC, Endurance, Springbrook, Wave, Ventec, and Telesystem. And that leaves us at that number.
Yes, okay.
Is that cool?
That's right.
All
Perfect.
right.
So let's go ahead and approve the action items A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Okay, and, hold on. So, yeah, I can do that, but I'm gonna start with what I said here, so it's clear for the record. Okay, so I make a motion to approve A, B, C, D, E, and F on the action items, and G. That also, the adjustment, if you will, in making this motion from the original $41,144.13, and eliminating the Washington EDC, Endurance, Springbrook, Wave, Ventec, and Telos system as a deferred. That brings us to making a motion to approve that general fund at $16,370.01.
Yes. Okay, I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so moved. Thanks for your patience, everybody. Okay, commissioner reports.
Oh, boy. Okay. Hold on.
You got something, John?
Oh, I'll take my report. And, well, basically, it's pretty simple. So we had the special meeting for February 8th and special meeting 9th of February, and the special meeting of March 1st. I attended all three of those meetings. And then in the beginning of February, the regular monthly meeting. That's it.
Okay. February 1st, I did Port Day at Olympia, put on by Washington Public Ports Association. February 5th, and I did a regular port meeting and then met with RCO with Andrea Hood via Zoom earlier that day. February 8th, the port meeting, and then also the Economic Development Council of Mason County meeting, of course, the February 9th. February 16th was the Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization. Came down here and helped a little bit, or at least made his life a little more miserable, right? And then same with the 19th, it was down here a little bit. And March 1st was a special meeting to set up our commercial water rates and budget hearings. Okay, moving forward, security report, Travis.
No, I did not provide a security report again.
Give us an
Was
overview.
there much going on?
There was nothing going on.
Yay.
The park is secure.
Okay,
All right.
We did have, well, I think I talked about it last month. We had actually the boat that was beached get resurrected by someone who salvaged it, and now they're paying us mortgage, so that's helpful. And I've inspected the boat 3 times, and it's not going to sink on our dock, so
Good.
otherwise I'd make him get it out of there. I suppose we can go to the director's report.
yes.
All right, so SAM.gov status is officially reined in, and we are now eligible to receive grant funding. So that is a very important step in the process of being a municipality.
Very cool.
It was a very long road, but we got there. So we got the Cary Water System purchase. Funding from the Washington Department of Commerce still in progress. The final punch list has been received from the AGG office in the last half of this month. I began working through the last remnants requirements with Christine Weldon, who has generously provided her expertise and guidance to help push through the process with me. Documents have been sent to DARPA, and we got our DARPA letter back today. So we have filed that with the Squaxin tribe to get our last letter that we need to secure. That's the last waiting process. Everything else is stuff that we just have ready to go. So as soon as we hear back from the Squaxin tribe, Commerce will have everything they need to approve our funding. The ARPA funding came through. We got the $100,000 that has been procured and deposited. That was also part of the action items today, so that it will remain in the water fund until we're ready to make a purchase process, which is also in the new items today. The Allyn Pier project, we've gotten awarded funding, so I can't imagine why we wouldn't want to pursue it. Just the beginning process. It was awarded back in July of 2023. So that was just something that Larry had not gotten to. I will start the process here and get at least our readiness survey
Right.
sent in by the end of the month. PUD interlocal street lighting. The 10-year mark is fast approaching on this project, and the interlocal agreement with the PUD that is a condition of the Allyn sidewalk project that we did. Port of Allyn has been paying for 22 streetlights that span all through Allyn and on Highway 3 at a cost of about $400 a month. So the sunset on that is in July of this year. Something for you to have a look at.
Yes, we'll start working on
Water
that.
system issues. Northwest Water, our port management company, informed me that we missed the December 2023 coliform BAC sample. As per contract, that's their responsibility to take. So I've been in contact with their water quality department. They're going to pay for the entire process of notifying our entire water base.
Great.
So that
Okay.
won't be anything that we'll have to deal with. I'll just have to provide them with the full list of customers to get the mailings out. Our derelict vessel reimbursement. I've checked in with Jerry Farmer. They're the DNR, derelict vessel program. We have confirmed in the statewide vendor system, or we are confirmed, so it'll be a real easy payout when it actually surfaces to the top of the stack. It's about $6,000 we're looking to recoup there,
Great.
which would be very helpful right now.
Yeah.
Power pedestal replacement and steel barriers. These two projects are married at the hip, and we must provide protection to the replacement pedestals with some steel barrier plan before installing them. So the cost of getting the steel barriers is a bit more than our procured funds for both projects. We would suggest that the project be reevaluated after the port receives a tax dump in April. And then we also have the option of going after more 09 funds in the pier department, which is about $20,000 available, which would be enough to cover the steel barrier portion of it, so that we wouldn't have to, worry about that out of our actual funds. So that's another thing we'll be pursuing throughout the month.
May I add, Phil Wolf offered to help.
Yeah.
Voting,
I don't have his, I don't have his number.
I'll
Give
get it
give
to
me,
you.
give me your number
Yeah.
and his number, and I'll call him this week.
Okay,
Kitsap banking approvals is fully processed. We've taken care of all of that. Then the excessive memberships, the Arlo Technologies was a bit of a process to get that dealt with, because they do not have a phone number to call anymore. You have to do it all through their AI messaging system. But that has been removed. Wave broadband, we discussed, that is termination 30 days from when I did it, around the 8th of February. So we just have this last bill here, and then it'll terminate probably on the 8th of March. Mail big file was something that Larry had set up, has been terminated as well. The Great American Financial is one of those contracts we are not going to be able to get out of. It is literally pay it completely out or pay it through its term. It's tied in with our help desk Calvary system, which is our IT contractors. They also pay for our licenses, our Microsoft licenses. So until that contract is up, we don't have an option there.
When was that up? That's,
4 years, right? It was a long
It's
time.
2.5
Two-
left.
okay.
There's 2.5.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
okay.
The Amazon Prime account was deactivated, but the billing went through for the month, so that won't come on the next one. And I'd like to personally thank Christine and Jeff Weldon for their contributions of time and expertise to the Port of Allyn, and the knowledge that has provided direction and clarity for me to better serve the constituents of the Port of Allyn. And a special acknowledgement to Jeff and Debbie Carey. Without their patience and understanding, the port wouldn't be in the position it sits today to weather the storm of loss experienced recently. Thank you, Jeff and Debbie.
Thank you.
Each day we come closer to finishing a water system merger.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something that I skipped. I can think of a few things, and I just didn't get on the report, but I will diligently try to make sure I get more on there.
That's okay, so if I have a few questions on that.
Sure.
Report, yeah, so, the funds allotted for the Allyn Pier project,
Mhm.
how much are they?
It's a $500,000 grant,
Okay. And,
which it's a little more than that, but they take a percentage in administrative fee, so at the end, we'd see like 495,000
Okay.
or something like that.
All right,
And that's basically a repair
I know.
to the existing
Not a
damage
replace-
that's there.
Yeah, that's all good.
I think the idea was to go after planning with that money and repair,
Okay,
so that we could go after the full 4 million to replace the whole dock.
all right.
But we've got to get that money in and utilize it so that our elected officials will continue to go to bat for us and get more.
And we got that in 2022?
23. It was July of
Okay.
23.
All right.
Great.
That was, I shouldn't say we got that.
No, it was appropriated
It was
for us.
appropriated, okay. How did you discover that, other than just digging in?
I got, so I actually got that from our lobbyist. She
Okay.
sent that over in one of our last few communiques early
Okay.
on. And then also I got all the information sent over from our representative at Commerce, Lena Moore,
Okay,
who is what we work with to get all of our Commerce grant money.
all right, well, that's really cool, that's awesome. And then the other question I have, a couple questions. One is, that you were working on getting some cooperation with the lighting for the highway system, the hill.
Yes, I haven't been able to get anybody locked in for a thought, but
Yeah.
I'll at least be able to address it going forward, should you allow me to.
Okay,
And I did actually have a small conversation with the Lutheran Church today.
Okay.
Who had rented our facility to
Yeah.
let them know that, this was part of the plan going forward.
okay,
And.
Did you tell them about the lights?
Yeah, I told them about the lights.
Okay.
Yeah, I was discussing the lights with her, and I did find out when their council meets. Thought that maybe that would be an option for any one of us to go down and just
Sure.
kind of
You bet.
let them know that it's something on the horizon, and if we can get some kind of community, collaboration between maybe more than one entity, we could find a way to pay for it together, since the port has paid for it for 10 years.
Yeah.
So there's options like the ACA. We can even see if Mason County Public Works would pick up the portion that goes up Lakeland Drive.
Right.
Because some of these
That's what I
lights
was
are on Highway 3. And it's just, that's a taller ask to get to the State Department.
yeah,
To pay for that, the State Public Works Department, than it is for the local.
Do they usually pay for stuff like that?
Not when we sign the contract to do it. So.
Okay. Well, I know,
Yeah,
but once that's
and
gone,
sometimes,
then-
from what I've heard, is that sometimes they'll pay for a light at a corner where two streets come together.
Yeah.
But they won't pay for lights going
Well, I get that.
away from that.
Yep. because I know on a few places, of course, I think they are county, you know, there's lights on corners. And I know
Yep.
that there's nobody living there, so,
Sure.
okay.
So it's gonna take some more investigating. It's just, we literally found out this month that we could get out of it and started just the preliminary, well, who can help us?
Yeah, because it's a safety issue too. We can't just say, okay, we're done. I mean,
Right.
we can, but we shouldn't.
No.
And then, you know, and that's also a thought process, and we could use to possibly go after those security funds with the 09, is that we say, hey, we're trying to put together a group of community players that want to help pay for this because we can't afford to pay for it all anymore. But we could appropriate some of that money from the
Sure.
security, the 60,000, say, we're going to use $100 a month for 5 years to
Yeah.
help securely light our community.
Yeah. So how many years have we been doing that?
10 years.
10 years. So you're looking
And
at
now it hasn't
50
been
grand.
22 lights the entire time. They've added lights
Oh, okay.
twice.
Oh, have they
Yes.
really?
Yeah, they've added lights
So if
twice.
they add lights, we're automatically,
Yep.
oh,
Yep.
that's interesting.
Okay,
That's a
well,
motivator.
we'll get a campaign
Yeah.
going for that one, starting next month.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the last question I have is on the North Shore derelict vessel. What's the time? It says.
And I can't get a time frame out of Jerry. He doesn't
Okay.
know. It's
All right.
just I verified that there was no holdup when it's our turn to be paid.
All right.
We're in a statewide vendor system. It's an automatic deposit. They don't
Okay.
even send a check out.
Okay.
It'll just appear in our account, and Aaron will go whoop whoop.
Okay. Thank you. That's it.
Okay. Okay, next is a discussion about the Sweetwater property.
So let me get with all the things going, this was one thing that I did not get up on the website. I do have copies of the release of liability and use agreement if anybody would like one.
Yeah, from Salmon Enhancement Group?
Correct.
Yes.
And
And I
that-
also saw the easement.
And I just wanted you to be able to read that. It's not something that has to be approved today, but it does need to be approved soon.
Sure.
Okay.
And
All right.
then, let me bring up,
Just so that also with the RCO meeting last month, what we had talked about is, again, trying to be in compliance because we had it shut down for a while because of trees and all kinds of other things, so garbage, people driving derelict, you know.
there was just a lot of
Vehicles and-
people in there that shouldn't have been.
Yeah, so with RCO, we wanted to be in compliance. Part of that is making it open to the public. And so I had proposed that we can have it open a short time. I'm thinking business hours, like 9 to 5. At least it would be open. That's what I suggested. But we are going to have probably another RCO Zoom meeting with them to give
Yeah.
them that information of what our plan would be.
And I sent them an email Tuesday of last week. They haven't gotten back to me.
Okay.
So I just.
For a date.
Yeah, for a date.
Okay.
So I will pursue that again next week. We can always establish a special meeting when we do get
Sure.
some information from
Yeah,
them.
that sounds good. One of the things that I had suggested too was just well, first of all, we're going to have, in April, we're going to have Earth Day, so there's going to be cleanup up there. DNR is going to help with that. You know, part of the garbage is on our property and also Schindelheim, or the Salmon Enhancement Group. So, it's going to be all cleaned up there with DNR volunteers. And then I had suggested that maybe just a small loop, just so people could walk a little bit, not to do the whole thing, because we don't want more vandalism or whatever. But again, we'll find out at our next RCO meeting.
We also have the subject of the Salmon Enhancement Group continuing to pursue RCO funding on behalf of the Port of Allyn, as we are their sponsor. Mindy had asked if you could approve that so that they could continue to look for more RCO funding.
Sure, I would. You know, I know, Ken, you've had some comments about it, but we're trying to, at least in my mind, and of course, John, you too, put in your 2 cents, but we are trying to get our house in order. And so I think that's where our focus should be right now. It's just, we'll just continue on down the path. Everything takes so much time, so we'll just see how it goes. We're gonna get in compliance. That's the number one, get in compliance about getting access to it, getting it cleaned up. At least I think that's what we can do in the interim. But not make any big drastic moves for right now.
I'm in agreement with that. Using our
So I'm
balance-
okay with her pursuing.
Okay, so I would just make a motion on that one, so that,
Okay. Do you want to make a
Yeah,
motion to it?
and we have everything to gain and nothing to lose to continue with our process of looking into grant options and things along those
yep.
lines, because we like options, and accepting any offers that she presents along the way, and working cooperative effort with the Salmon Center.
yep, and they have about 2 more months of time before the RCO grants are due.
Yeah, okay. I'll second that
okay.
then. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so moved.
I like options, we choose our battles.
Yeah.
Get in compliance.
And then
Yeah.
this hold harmless agreement can wait until we have a next special meeting,
Sure,
if you like.
Yeah, we can
And
do
then
that.
one other thing is that I would like to prepare the design for the signs, showing
Oh.
the operating hours and such, and have those ready for that special meeting.
Perfect.
When,
That would
when
be
they
great.
get back to us.
Okay.
So
And-
who do
and,
we-
and the thing is that I've talked with Mindy Harlow about it,
Mm-hmm.
and they are completely willing to pay for those signs.
oh,
That was our next question.
And
Okay.
the thing is that, as a reminder, we are the sponsor, we hold the property, but they are going after the funding to
Correct.
keep this place going.
yeah,
So the hope and dream is that they always are able to find the funding so that it's not costing us anything.
Yeah, 'cause
And
that's
as long
what
as it's
I
not
told her.
costing us anything, that's what matters when we're trying to choose our battles here, so, that's it, I'm good.
Okay.
That's really all on that subject that really needed to get done.
Okay, next is on the new items, discussion and possible action on how to reduce legal liabilities. Travis?
So, come to my attention that a conversation could come into play where we could talk to any possible litigators that have known us in the past
Okay,
to find out if they have any concerns or what they would expect of the court. I would just be there to listen and report back.
okay,
And I am okay with that, as long as it's just that, yeah. And then, to call legal counsel first, keep it short and sweet, and then call him back after completing that conversation. And just take good notes and do a follow-up there, and then we'll be talking to you, see how that went. That's all I got to say about that.
okay. So you're authorized. Ratification of anything else on that one? You're good to go. You can go ahead and talk.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you give me the authorization,
All right.
I will make the arrangements.
All right. So, ratification of the amendment number 3 to the purchase and sale agreement of the Cary Water System. I can't remember what kind of verbiage we had to use for that, because we signed it.
Yeah.
We just need to ratify that that we signed it.
Okay,
Yeah.
we signed
Yeah.
it. And thank you.
Didn't you approve the agreement for
Yeah,
both parties?
yeah, both parties approved the agreement, and you should motion it as well.
Okay, so we need a motion then that we approved the amendment to the purchase and sale agreement for the Cary Water System,
All right.
like what I just said.
Yeah, I know. It's just,
It is the same as
It's
the
redundant.
second extension and the
Okay.
first extension, just with date changes.
yeah, so,
We just ran out of time again.
yeah, no, I get it. In order to accommodate, for the sake of that, running out of time, make a motion for the ratification of amendment number 3 to the purchase and sale agreement for the Cary Water System.
I'll second that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so moved.
Which
Now,
leads us-
discussion and a possible action on the purchase of the Cary Water System, because we have been somewhat, thank you, Jeff, for doing all the help, so,
Somewhat legal.
Yeah.
Minor inconvenience over last.
Okay,
Yeah, past few months.
so we should leave, his comments for the public comment discussion, or are we just here to
Probably
discuss
have
it
your full
ourselves?
agenda.
Oh, okay, let me find that here, just a second. Well, I got, I have some notes here
Okay.
about
Oh.
possibilities of how we can do that.
Oh, okay.
But that was from
Beautiful.
our lawyer, but let me find the notes that you had given me.
Okay.
Yeah, it should
I'm
be in your-
getting there.
yep, there it is.
For good reason, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, you
Because
should
you
find
had
in your
discussed-
packet that document too as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, as noted, we did get the ARPA funds, which is, I can't remember, American Recovery,
It's,
some people don't like the acronym.
American Rescue.
Thank you.
And Protection.
Yes, which was 100,000, so we
Yeah.
received that. And we want to try to continue on with the whole purchase and sale, so we were thinking about two ways. Giving you the full 100,000. In the purchase and sale agreement, there's an option to do seller financing, so we need to talk about what we're going to do. Or then maybe give you 50,000 towards the purchase price and, whatever. We can, you want to talk about that later?
Well, we could at least discuss back and forth, is that, you have within those contracts, the ability to, just, I didn't realize the budget was gonna be the issue. The issue, where we made this ability to buy it on terms, in the event that the court didn't receive in a timely manner the ARPA funds or the Department of Commerce funds, because back when we agreed on the amount back in October, there was all this talk, still is the talk, about government shutdown, federal side. And so, in the event that funds got hung up or something got hung up, the idea was, okay, to facilitate the port's billing, to facilitate the port's budget, to get a uniform liability as far as who's running the water system, what have you, that Debbie and I would make available to the port to buy it on terms until the funding came in, and then we pay it off. We're still good with that. I mean, that was the original deal. It's as far as budgets, now that I know your budgets intimately well, it's probably the better route to go at this point, because it's not that long you have to do it.
Right.
No.
And it just, in my opinion, is it takes the pressure off the port and allows it to focus in the other areas the budget, needs attention to. And, which, you'll get to later as far as having a hearing, but at least now running through all the numbers, all the different things, and putting it together, each fund will be in the black by the end of the year, assuming, assumes revenues, it assumes expenses, it assumes those kind of things. But as long as the port has its discipline, we have our discipline as far as doing this whole thing and what have you, it should work out.
Yeah.
And like I said, in our minds, it isn't that we need the cash now, everybody can always use the cash now, but in light of everything that's happened, and knowing the budgets and knowing what has to occur all this over here, we're still game for leaving on the terms.
Yeah.
I just think that's the best route to.
Well, we can hammer that out.
Correct, and there was, a couple of clawback things, like in the issue that should the as-built drawings not be done and all that kind of thing, which that all got tabled when I started working the budget, wasn't working the drawings. So, there's clawbacks where the port has the latitude to withhold funds from us until those, those parts of the terms of the contract are met.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of those, and we're still good with those.
Okay. Okay, well, we can nail those little details down
Yeah.
this week or whatever, and,
So,
yeah.
Proceed as a terms purchase.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the lawyer gave some synopsis of still, kind of spelled it all out, the
Yeah.
summary, so. it looks real doable, as long as you're okay with that.
Without getting in the nitty-gritty technical part, I mean, like I said, you'll have the well, you'll have the property the well's on, you'll have all the setbacks. My attorneys recommended to get the covenant appended, that one that's missing in the map. You know, it's the covenants recorded, but the map, the attachment is not with each of those covenants. No, it's not correct, it's not there. So, it's referencing a document that's not in the auditor's file, so principle.
It says the covenant's there, but then the document that reference shows it.
Right. In other words, you have all the verbiage, all the text, and then it references an attached drawing.
Exactly.
And it's not.
Exhibit A, and there's no Exhibit A.
There's no Exhibit A.
Yeah.
And so I'm in the process of, I know the family, I'm not sure if they're in Arizona or Sacramento right at the moment, so we're trying to work that out, but my attorneys asked me to get in contact and then line it up so that they can, since they were the original parties back in 2010 that approved it, to have, you know, that would be the easiest to get it amended that way. It doesn't hold up anything as far as the ports, because I mean, it's in place. I mean, I'm purveying water, you're purveying water, so I mean, it's all in place. But that's that little nitty-gritty technical issue that we're trying to clean up, so.
Okay.
Anyway.
Great. Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So you're gonna want to, if we're gonna go with that option, you're gonna want to make a motion to
Yeah.
approve the promissory note option.
So because we already,
Okay.
and because we already approved moving that money into the general water fund from the ARPA fund, with the ARPA funds of 100,000, it's there. So
It'll be there.
it will be there,
this week,
because we
correct.
approved it. So, let's see if I can say this correctly, I approve that we do an individual voucher for the payment from the ARPA funds, and, you know, 50,000 towards the purchase price. Well, okay, bear with me. So what, in holding with the title company, or however the board would suggest, what are we talking about there?
Well, if we approve $50,000, we just don't approve it to Jeff personally.
No.
We have to know who we're cutting the check to. So
Okay, all right.
that's what that's really pertaining to. Do we
To
cut
be
it
held
our-
in
do we-
escrow.
Do we send it to our title company in escrow?
Okay.
Is that
That's how it
appropriate?
should go.
I can go either way.
Okay.
Okay.
Generally, you do first, and they
Yeah,
disperse.
No, I know, right,
Okay.
but I'm saying because it's a municipal corporation, the board.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I see what you mean, yes.
You
No,
hold it.
so I'll make a motion. I'll make,
We'll find that out. We just need approval.
yeah, so I'll make a motion for $50,000, and with Travis discussing that with the title company as how best suggested to do that, and make that motion now.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so moved. So I'm gonna give it a list here.
I'm sure it's gonna be escrow, you
Yeah, I think so too. Next is our contract with our interim executive director, and Travis, you gave us a new one. Just so that you know, Travis has been stepping up to the plate and just doing great with the learning curve that was at hand. He was on a 90-day interim executive director, and so that's coming up, and so we want to extend it, and he has requested a year.
Correct.
Yes.
In order
What
for
kind
me
of
to-
changes did you do to that?
The duties section 4.2, it says other employment. It always stated that the employee could not engage in any other business. And
Oh.
I am already engaged in another business.
Yeah.
And that business is now not being ran so much by me. I am hiring personnel for it. So it would just be that I would be, my longtime retail and events business, I would just own and oversee it. And
Yep.
then it also states that I would agree not to take any other type of employment while executive director of the Port of Allyn.
Yeah, I see.
know?
Okay.
Okay.
And then the other yellow portions are just the 90 days to 1 year.
Yes.
So it's March, effective today.
2024, yeah.
Correct.
225.
And then another
Okay.
5.1 shows the effective date, again, March 4th, 2024, 1-year
All
agreement.
right.
And then at the 1 year, we renegotiate.
Yes.
We figure out where we want to go from there.
Okay.
and then everything else remains the same until you get to the very end, and that is where the signed day of March 4th, 2024
Yeah.
is
Okay.
executed.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve this with that one.
And until next month, I will have a resolution written for digital signatures, so we don't have to say a digital signature every time you approve something, but
Okay.
you would have to approve digital signatures on this contract as well.
Can we just sign it now?
You could just sign it now, that would be fine.
How about if we just sign it now?
All right, okay, let's do it old school.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion that we approve this agreement effective the 1st of March 2024 as we come up to the 90-day, 3-month as interim director. The only change with this new change, addressing being a business owner in 4.2, I make a motion we approve that.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so moved. Thank you, Travis, for
Yep.
all your work and diligence.
Thank you for your confidence in me.
Yeah, you've been doing great.
Okay.
And there we go.
That'll get filed into record.
Okay, back to the PUD interlocal agreement with State Route 3 and Lakeland Village street lighting. What's that? That's back on here. Do we
Oh,
need
that
to
was.
talk about that?
Yeah, well, we talked about that during my executive director
Okay,
report, so.
so we don't need to do
we-
that one?
We could skip that at this point. It was just, it's a new item, but we just did the new item discussion during my executive director.
Yeah, just be looking for ways to get the cost down, that's all.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, you mentioned,
And I'll have another opportunity for community outreach. Richard Bell has asked me to an interview on the March 8th.
Yay,
So I'll go down and
Great.
we'll have discussions about everything for development.
okay, is that when their ACA meeting is? this
No,
March?
it's their community engagement 360. It's
Okay.
They're doing a production company.
Oh,
Every
yes.
2 weeks they do little interviews with people in the community.
Yeah, perfect, okay.
Yeah. That's what it's called.
Great, thank you. You wanted to add the financial summary as a regular meeting line item?
Yeah, so I wanted to discuss
I
it
think
with you
that's-
before actually adding it to the action item portion. It would be something that we would, it's like a State of the Union.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna tell you where we were last month, where we expect to be next month, and exactly where we are today.
I think that's great.
no, that's good, we talked about that.
Yeah.
I know
Well,
we
I
had
would-
separate meetings with them going over the budget, which is good, but we
Yeah.
talked about that as well.
Yeah, okay, good, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm for that. I
I
don't
am
think
too.
you need any resolution, just do
No,
it.
just saying that
do
it.
you're interested in it, and I can make those changes, and then you approve the agenda each month anyway, so.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, back to announcement of the applications received for District 2 commissioners. Thank you, commissioner, or potential commissioners, for engaging with us this evening. Thank you so much. We did receive our applications from, and I'll do it in alphabetical order, Bob Allyn. Bob, you want to stand up and say hi?
I mean, we have to, it's not as easy as it was.
Sorry. Thank you, Bob. And next, Michael Curtin. Mike. Thank you, Mike. And next, Jim Freeman.
Yeah, Jim Freeman, I was here last meeting.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much. Well, I've looked through all this, and, you know, I think what we've done in the past when we did interviews, so what we need to do is set up times to
Yes.
interview
yeah,
and then make our decision. I don't know what kind of a timeline, we weren't gonna decide tonight, because
No.
we just got those, but because we wanted to go through an interview process,
so I say we coordinate with Travis, and he can reach out to the three of them and come up with something that works for all of us in this month,
Sure.
March, maybe the third weekish of March or something along those lines, and do the interviewing.
On the third week, probably?
Yeah,
Would
maybe.
that, okay.
Yeah.
Did you have conflict on the third week?
No.
No,
Matter
you
of fact,
didn't.
our
Okay.
27th days
Right.
for our meeting, so maybe that week would work out okay.
Okay.
26, 27. Does that work
Okay.
out okay for you guys for interviews, the last week in March, maybe?
The last week would be good. I believe there's a water conference at Ocean Shores that I'll be attending for
Okay.
at least 3 days out.
That's the third week, though. I think we're talking, let me,
Yeah.
Double
it's the
check.
Third week in March when the conference is coming, but that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll be gone.
Yeah, that'd be the 18th through the 22nd?
yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well, we can even do it like coming into the 27th, 28th-ish of March, the last few days of March, maybe.
Well, sometime between 25 and 29 of March.
Okay.
Does that sound acceptable?
figure it out.
So, yeah, Travis will reach out.
Yeah.
And,
Would you like to do public interviews? Or would you like to do?
I don't know what the laws are on that. We didn't, I think we noticed, but, you know, I don't think you have to have the public there. It's sort of like,
Okay. All right, so I'll
But
look.
that
I'll
would be
look-
fine,
I'll look
whatever.
I'll look into it
Yeah.
and then I can.
Yeah, find out. I
Make
know the
arrangements
interview-
with each candidate and
Sure.
then get you all on board.
and maybe we could make it on one day and just, you know,
That's the
that
way
way
I'd
we
like
don't
to do it.
have you all there and.
Back
we
to
can
back, you know. Yeah,
Ask questions.
same
and-
time.
I have to say, all of you have just been stellar. Thank you for stepping up. I really appreciate all of your expertise in all your fields, so thank you. Really appreciate it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure if they were closed interviews, it'd be labeled as an executive session.
Yeah, we'll find, yeah.
I'll
But I
nail
don't-
it down for sure.
I don't know if that would be considered personnel, so I don't know. Well, we'll do some study.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
let
do that.
everybody know.
Yeah, we'll do it in a format that is acceptable, and he'll be reaching out to the three of you. Travis will be coordinating that towards the end of March, okay? All right, thank you.
Okay, that's great. Okay. Gentlemen, I'm sorry, well, we have public comment, so next. So if you, please, if you want to speak up or anything, then go ahead. Public comment. Jeff?
One thing for public comment, Debbie brought to my attention.
Oh, he would like you to go up there.
Sure.
So for public comment, yes, if you would stand up
So we can
at
hear
the
you
podium.
for the record.
Thank you.
Jeff Carey.
thank you.
welfare. Debbie brought up to me that when you approved that motion on the purchase,
Yes.
that you didn't reference which way we were doing, just a straight purchase or deed type thing.
Do we, well, is that something
Well,
that
I
we
mean-
have to hammer out right now?
No, but I'm saying one was the way you presented it, which was like the fund, you know, like the 50,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
The other is like, you know, doing the promissory purchase, you know, deed trust type thing.
Oh,
Yes, but
I
it, well,
see.
I
Because
think
there's
it's
like
kind
two
of
diff-
both, really. We'd be giving you like,
Well, there's,
sorry. Go ahead.
okay, it was fine, I mean, both, it was fine, whatever.
I see.
But I'm saying, you're authorizing one thing,
Yeah.
but not completing the
Not
transaction.
addressing the other
Yeah,
issue.
so,
Okay.
you want me then to step away and then go debate that and then go to public comment? Or continue on?
We probably should have that separate because that, we're gonna have to, you know, let's go ahead and have public comment.
Okay, fair.
And then we'll talk about
Since
that
I'm up
because
here,
that
I'll
might
do
take,
public comment.
okay.
Thanks again for all the help in getting that budget together. One thing that's clear is that you need to have a workshop and you need to have an open process. And all these years that I've been around here, and it's, you know, not all the years, but I mean, there's a lot, we've never really had, you know, a complete, you know, really workshop, you know, for the budget. In other words, what I mean by that, for example, is most times you got the budget like September or October 1. But I remember talking about this years ago.
Yes.
But we never look at where we actually were at the end of the year. We just like pick up the ball in the first of the year and everything's hunky-dory and away we go. And that, among many other little things, didn't help, you know, help the matters. And I think going forward, if, at least for the next few years while we right the ship, that you have more of a workshop, you know, public workshop and just hammer it out and beat it up. and go through it, because I think that in the end, that, one, will give more confidence to the public what's going on. Two, I think you'll get to a budget quicker,
Yeah,
I think, I hope.
I agree.
And after working it and having to work the different funds and what have you, they're just, no, I mean, heck, I've been around it almost 30 years, and I didn't realize how the port moved, worked funds, how they came in, how they went out, and the different problems that created in blind spots in accounting. And so, so anyway, that'd be my 2 bits there. Finally, last but not least, my favorite, and Travis and I discussed it a little bit today, is the Sweetwater Park. I'm beginning to understand, I'm still to this issue about the port disengaging from, because it doesn't meet the RCWs as far as I read it. I mean, we can debate that, I'd like to debate that and work it through sometime, but I just don't see it meeting it. However, in talking to Travis and going down through, assuming he's correct in what he's running into, the best analogy I can give to you is working an RCO grant is like, so you get married, and then somewhere along the line you decide it's not working out, so you want to get a divorce. Well, you can't get a divorce, but if you do divorce, you instantly have to have instantly another wife, in my case. And that doesn't work that way. And it's, it's just I didn't realize until it was explained, if he understands it correctly, that those RCO grants, you really get tied to them. I mean, we've always known that all grants have strings, but this one,
no, but you're right.
is just, in my opinion, much messier in a way that doesn't give the port or other options. And it's going to, looking at the port from revenue and trying to make things balance or what have you, it's going to be a long time before that ever goes neutral, to zero. It's always going to cost the port. I mean, an example, a smaller scale, is the kayak park.
Right.
But the port can handle that one. Even if you don't get revenues for it, you got the budget to handle that park and deal with it and have this, the bathrooms there and all that. You have enough revenue to do those. But, Sweetwater is a bigger fish. And I'm concerned, I'm remembering something I said you were still on board, because I know you've almost always been here, Judy, but before any of the other commission was here, I remember saying I'm concerned about maintenance. I just didn't realize how, at the time I said that, I didn't realize how, impactful that would really be to the port's ongoing budget, so. Anyway.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, as far as I know, really the only way that you can is to transfer it to another municipality or a governmental agency.
Yeah.
And it's not easy.
No,
Yeah, there's no,
And who would be appropriate for that?
Right,
You know?
and I've mentioned that, I'm sorry, back up the.
Well, sure. Well, better not, because we got other people and,
Go
you
ahead.
know.
you just
so,
gave me an
thank you.
interesting idea, though.
Okay, next. Thanks for your patience. Next. Ken, do you have anything?
Sure.
Oh, and I see Phil. Okay, thank you.
Oh.
No, go ahead, Ken, and then I'll get Phil.
Sure. Okay. Ken Van Buskirk from Belfair. Folks, I sent you some comments when I saw the agenda, and I'd like to suggest that you change the format of your meetings to allow public comment before you dive into the agenda items so that we can make appropriate comment. A lot of the material that you covered in the business items, you weren't very clear on what was even going to be talked about. So I had a couple questions that I just wanted to throw out there in the executive director's report. I was curious if the membership to the Kitsap Building Association had been eliminated.
I can answer that, Ken. It had actually been charged back in 23 in August. So we don't have to pay it in August 24.
Okay, great,
So
great. Yeah,
that's, that is definitely something that the commissioners can
and
choose to say
I
no
want
to.
to follow up a little bit on Mr. Jeff Carey's comments there with Sweetwater. You know, when you folks took that over from the school, that grant was originally written by Neil Werner, who was the predecessor of Miss Harlow. That was 25 years ago, and the whole scenario around that has changed. There hasn't been any improvements or maintenance on that property for 25 years. They were supposed to install a fence on the boundary between there and do a survey. They did a survey, but it got overgrown, and Mr. Capola had to go and hire somebody to rerun it. So the port has spent a lot of money on that property since they took it over. Who paid for the tree service to take that giant willow down? Who paid for the arborist reports, those big blocks? All that's been money that the port has spent. They were going to do it with supposedly with a grant, but the Salmon Center put in for a big grant. I mean, you attended their grant meetings. They didn't get it. So are we just going to let it go another 25 years? I think we need to be done with it. Last year, I think it was last year, the executive director had Mr. Fisher come and talk about a disc park there, and it was all the big thing they were going to do that. And then he went in there and said, he came back, they don't want to do it. So I think you've got an albatross basically around the port's neck, and need to do away with it. The other couple other things I wanted to suggest, but I didn't know that you were planning to extend the executive. So I guess Travis is now the executive director, not the interim director.
He's
It's
still
going to be
the
for
interim
a whole year. But who's going to be doing the security job now? Is he still going to do that? That's something I didn't hear discussed.
Yeah, that wasn't on the table for change, so.
Okay, well, that wasn't discussed during your discussion, so.
Okay.
So I guess you're not going to be doing a search for a full-time executive director anytime soon. The last thing, and I mentioned this in my email to you earlier today, that I think you might want to look at who pays for the street lighting through Belfair on SR3.
Pays for what?
The
Who
Belfair.
pays for the street lighting in Belfair
Oh.
on SR3?
Okay.
Perhaps Warstad or the Chamber of Commerce or the Allyn Community Association might be approached as potential interlocal entities.
Okay.
And lastly, I know you talked about some deferments and some changes to the budget. Could you folks post the draft budget before
We will as soon as it goes to the papers.
Okay, before the hearing, so that I want to make more
Not
public
less than
comments.
5 days, not more than 15 days.
Okay, I just want to be able to make public comment before the meeting like I did in December. So, yeah, I think not a divorce isn't what I'm looking for. I'm thinking I'm looking for an annulment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
Phil, I see you raised your hand. Can you hear us? Are we muted? We're not hearing you. Just a minute, Phil.
We're not hearing Phil.
I-
Says to turn the
All right, can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you. Great, thank you, Phil.
Okay, all right. So Phil Wolf from Allyn. Yeah, speaking of RCO grants, the condition of the grant of the land needing to be open to the public, I mean, that only makes sense, right? It's public land. So, and I don't see why that couldn't be fairly easily fulfilled in case of Sweetwater. But the voting facilities grants are this year. It's every 2 years, and it's RCO. I think the deadline's in the fall, but that they open up the applications, I think in June. So, that so those monies are derived from the gas tax. Essentially, people that burn fuel in boats that don't request a refund for the gas tax. That money goes into that voting facilities. So so there's money there, and I think it should be pursued for the pier. Might be a good project, or maybe a study of the pier, or just to get started on it. So that's what I.
Thank you, Phil. We'll be contacting you. Maybe you can help us out. That'd be great.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Vicki, thank you. Go ahead and state your name.
Vicki Betzinger, Allyn, and your neighbor. I just want to express my appreciation for all of the dedication and hard work that's being done by not only Travis, but the entire port community. The changes that have gone on in the last few months have been horrendous. And to pick up the pieces and act like you can just move forward without any hiccups or issues is ridiculous to think that that could happen. I mean, there's a huge learning curve that has to take place. And I just want to really express my appreciation for all of you for really digging in and getting to the bottom of some of these things that haven't been resolved for a long, long time. So I, as a community member, am in full support of you. So, thank you.
Vicki. Anybody else? Okay, Barry.
That's refreshing.
Barry Betzinger, Allyn, and your neighbor. So, I want to reiterate what Vicki said, and I've just Travis's car is here for long times during the day. I mean, he's really dedicated, and I think that your decision here will maintain the continuity of what the port was doing and follow through, and I think will be resolved in an expeditious manner with Travis still, at the reins here for at least another year. So applaud and kudos and everything else. I think you guys are doing a great job.
Yeah, thank you.
And as you were thanking Jeff and Debbie for their cooperation, I thank you too, because these are really difficult times. And I'm all in favor also, changing the subject, of taking it a step at a time on Sweetwater Park, because you have so many other things in the fire right now. There's no danger of anything happening over there, I don't think. So, but you do have things to work on here. So, and with money being so tight, don't go out and get a bank loan or anything. I mean, it's, wait for all our monies to get to you here in a few months, and hopefully that'll help a little bit. But, you're headed in the right direction as far as I'm concerned, and like Vicki, I support you 100%.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barry.
Anybody else? Anything for the good of the order? You're right.
Yeah, no, we will get through this, and I'm looking forward to the end game here coming out of 2024 and giving proper, appropriate recognition for so much so many different directions, for the betterment of this community.
Yeah, and I want to thank Randy Netherland, Commissioner Randy Netherland, for coming in and helping and giving us ideas and pointing us also in the right direction. And thank you so much for your patience too. So I guess we could either, we can't really adjourn because we need to talk about the, we need to, yes,
The
we need to
promissory.
talk about the promissory note. You know what, I have here from our lawyer, and bear with me, I don't know if you want to just look at this, what they are, the summary?
I'd say first is create, it's like creating any contract, just get it together and then let's look at it.
I
Okay.
agree.
Because there's no use, I don't mind, going through it in public, but let's at least get closer.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
one thing to make hamburger when meat's
Yeah.
flying all over the place. It's another thing to get, when at least there's some semblance of order to it, so.
Agreed,
And
So-
the money's not going anywhere.
yeah,
So literally, the minute we have contracts in place that say this is what we're good with, the money can literally be special meeting, literally 24 hours away of approval via Zoom if you need to, just to get that voucher rolling to the county.
yeah,
Right, I mean,
Okay.
there'll be little peculiar areas like, like we discussed,
Yeah.
as far as doing that and extending that line of credit, being, at least freeing up the earnest money, so at least we can pay
Yes.
our attorneys.
yeah,
So,
Agreed.
I can make another motion, based on that other motion that I
Well,
made, contingent upon a contract.
let's figure out what we're gonna do first before we try to move forward.
Well, we have to make a contract, which we just make sure we
And
have done.
yes, we will,
Okay.
because and I think you got the email from our lawyer in regard to this, and I'll share that with you too, just some of the specifics of what we can do, what they are, and to make it where you get some money finally, and,
As long as it's going in the direction that need.
yes,
That extends the terms of the court, that gives the court time, and at least gets to be on the billing side, because,
Yeah.
we're trying to, through this whole effort of trying to get the budgets to balance and work themselves out, that's, part of it,
Yeah,
so.
it
Because
is.
we need to be able to tell our customers they're getting transferred to you guys.
correct,
So it's not a huge shock,
Right.
yes,
so, but we're not able to do that because we don't have an agreement.
Right.
As far as,
so do you want us to try to shoot for Wednesday?
Yeah,
Okay, because Tuesday I'm working all day, but, what about are you busy Wednesday? I mean, because we have to have a day to talk to the
Yeah,
lawyer to
what-
get something.
that's fine.
Wednesday
Well,
work.
if the lawyer can get us something on paper. in a
Okay.
day,
Why-
That's
why
the
don't-
consideration.
Why don't you work out what it is?
Why,
Yeah.
why don't we find out from the attorney when they can give us something to put before us?
Sure.
And then we can
Check in
schedule
with-
that meeting.
Yeah, but this week for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully,
It's really your attorneys,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all dependent upon the attorneys.
so,
So,
yes.
I will literally, I can tell Kate tomorrow morning, first thing, that it's been approved and that we want to go with the promissory option, correct?
yes, that's correct.
Is
But
that,
then
that's the
closing-
right one out of the
Motion
two?
for that.
Yeah, you'll have to, well, the motion that we made didn't do the promissory option already?
No.
Okay, okay,
That's why I was questioning.
sure.
She was listening.
Yeah, no, that's why,
Years.
that's why I wanted to add to that motion I already made.
Okay,
That's fine.
Um,
well, it's kind of a little, yes, well, we have to do that today, so
Do we have
sorry
to
about being
rescind
out
that
of
motion?
order.
Do we have to rescind the first motion we made?
Nope,
I would just make another motion.
Another motion?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let me know, correct me if it's not an appropriate one, but I'll make a motion that the $50,000 towards the purchase of price, that we address the promissory note option in a contract to be agreed upon. I make that motion, we do that
Okay,
for all parties to agree on, or for all parties to address in contractual form.
okay,
That
I'll
make
second
sense?
that,
Okay.
yeah,
You
second
can't
that.
say we agree until we.
Right, that's why,
Yeah.
in
No, that's
contractual
fine.
form,
That's
so,
good.
okay,
Okay, I'll second that, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
okay, thank you.
It's only been 5 years.
Yeah.
Hasn't it been a lot longer,
That's-
Okay. All right, anything else for the good of the order? Thank you for your patience. Ken?
do have one thing I suggest that you probably want to do those interviews for the candidates in public session. I think that's what's, and then you can make your selection in executive session.
Right, at least.
Well said.
Do the interviews in public, so that the
yeah.
public can be in attendance.
Mine
Well
was
said.
public, by the way.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that
mine
we
was
had
too.
discussed that in the first place, that there
Yeah.
would be a public interview, so the public could actually ask questions as well.
Well said,
I
thank
mean,
you.
whatever we're supposed to do, we'll do. It didn't matter to me how we did it.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll keep in contact. Bob?
The only objection I have to public, because I went through this some time ago, many years ago, with politics, not having anything to do with courts. But as long as it's people who live in this port district who are in attendance are allowed to speak versus people outside of this port district allowed to speak. And make judgment on any of the applicants, because it all could be handled in executive session without the announcement, and then you go out to the public and do it. That I'd have you either check with the attorney or WPA.
We'll do both.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. Okay. Anything else? Okay, meeting adjourned.
Okay.
Thank you.